The Daily Beast had an article 2 days ago where Gillibrand was kind of sounding the alarm, saying that she thinks that Andrew Cuomo is going to run against her. That's what she was telling some of her donors, because he's been coming up with, he'd launched a PAC and he was raising money behind the scenes. So it wasn't for that. What's funny is that it appears to have been for this project here.
It is. Talk about the last refuge, right? Like, I'm wondering which big donor of Cuomo's thought this was a good idea. Some right-wing Israeli supporting billionaire. Yeah, exactly. Saban or somebody like that. Because don't you remember how many times like Cuomo would come out, like, even within the context of like he's running in New York, of course he's going to come out and be supportive of Israel because he wants to get, like, to be clear, he knows he's got the mostly the Democratic vote in his pocket, and because he's Democratic governor and because of his father's legacy, which means that he's getting the vast majority of Jews will vote for him because they're Democrats. But then what he's really going for is to get all the right-wing sort of like fundamentalist Jews who vote together in a block because they're told how to vote by their Rebbe. But even in that context, I don't think we saw anything like this. This is it looks like a hostage video.
Yeah.
Let's see alone.
It's time for our officials to condemn anti-Semitism, not just with their words, but with their actions.
Their money.
You can't denounce anti-Semitism, but waver on Israel's right to exist and defend itself. And it shouldn't be just our Jewish officials who speak, but it should be non-Jewish officials who speak first and loudest.
Like the Italians.
Why? Because we all learned.
I'm a Jew. I'm a woman. I'm a black. I'm a gay. Isn't that what the speech was?
Yeah, he can cover the whole rainbow just by endorsing Israel himself.
Keep going. Does he do like a pitch for coins
Came
at the
for
end?
the Jews, and
I'm
I
selling
did not
these
speak out
commemorative-
because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me,
Oh, God.
and
you
there
really
was
doing
no
this,
one
dude?
left to speak for me. Friends, tonight my father,
Wait,
the late
who?
great Governor Mario Cuomo,
Pause it. Friends. Wait, who was he doing this video for?
This was an event at Carnegie Hall.
I see.
Commemoration of the Warsaw Ghetto, like an anniversary of the Warsaw Ghetto.
I see. Okay. And it wasn't just like literally like his birthday party that for him that he wasn't invited to, so that he could actually accurately say friends.
Right.
Okay. I just was curious. Keep going.
This is okay. Yeah.
no one left to speak for me. Friends, tonight my father, the late great Governor Mario Cuomo, is sitting with the great Eleanor Esther Elka Paul right now, and I will tell you what he is saying. He is saying it is time for the Shabbos Goy. The Shabbos Goy can do the work that benefits both the Jewish community and the non-Jewish community. The Shabbos Goy can turn on the lights on the Sabbath because it benefits everyone. It is time to turn on the lights. I'm starting an organization called Progressives for Israel, and I'm going to call the question for Democrats. Do you stand with Israel, or do you stand against Israel? Because silence is not an option. My friends, never again is not a prayer. It is a call to action. It is not passive. It is active. It will never happen again because we will never allow it to happen again. And we will do it together. Thank you.
So he started a new
Send me money.
Organization. God. What do you think? What do you think? It's.
I am gay. I am disabled. I am a woman.
You know what this sounds like to me? Honestly, this sounds like another slush fund like AIPAC set up to go after New York progressives. And he is going to run against he is going to basically an outside expenditure group for against people like AOC and against like progressives. Actually, you know what? This is worse than when I first heard about it, and I'm starting to realize he didn't just get he got approached by. This is not just a grift for him. This is his payback.
Mm-hmm.
Revenge.
This is revenge. Ken Langone, I don't even think he was approached by a Jewish billionaire. I think it was Ken Langone who came to him and said, how are we going to deploy this money from so-called progressive groups in New York State against progressive candidates?
You think that he's not going to use this money to go after the progressive Democrats, the DSA candidates who helped unseat the IDC, which was his pet project?
That's exactly what it is.
He's trying to roll back the gains that we've made in the state here to get rid of the IDC Democrats. He says, I know my dad. Who is he saying his dad's sitting in heaven with? I didn't know the name that he said, but it seemed incredibly.
All I can remember is that I
shameless.
believe, I believe, at one point I think it was like, I don't know if it was his 50th birthday, I can't remember, but Mario I think didn't show up at his son's birthday party at one point. He's like, why would I go?
Hey, I get it. So now we all have to deal with Andrew Cuomo still, even after he's been ousted as governor, because he has to just constantly live up to that.
He is basically just doing he is launching a anti-justice Democrats group. That's basically what it is, and progressive Democrats group, and doing it under the auspices of anti-Semitism because it's been so effective for the AIPAC aligned group.
Yeah.
And you think this is his way also to get back in with like the Hakeem Jeffries crew who has his own.
I mean, they better
group doing
not.
the same thing.
That'd be curious because
Well, why was Hakeem Jeffries working so hard alongside Kathy Hochul to get that anti-abortion, anti-labor judge onto the Supreme Court? There's some crossover right
State,
now between the new majority or the new leader of the Democrats.
But I'm curious, does the axe to grind with Hochul for succeeding him take more precedent over potentially
I don't think Hochul had much to do with that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
She was not a mastermind. She was just there, and he put her there.
The point is just that Jeffries is swimming in both waters.
Yes, definitely.
Which is concerning.
People should keep an eye on that group. Whatever that group Andrew Cuomo starts, because I got news for you. His fundraising is going to be easy. He goes to an event like this, honestly, just to give cover to the main donor of his group.
Yeah.
Ken Langone really concerned about anti-Semitism. And I don't know if it's Ken Langone or not, but if I had to bet, I'd bet it was. But they'll get a bunch of donations from Jews attending, an event like that. Oh, I'm against anti-Semitism.
Yeah, Carnegie Hall.
I mean, and we just have to say, Democrats really need to get wise to this conflation of anti-Semitism versus criticism of, as Cuomo puts it, Israel's right to exist and defend itself. Exist as what? As a occupying state, and defend itself how?
The reason why these appeals are effective is because there is an awareness that the Democratic Party is moving away from non-conditional support of Israel. Yes. I know it doesn't look like it right now, but because nobody speaks out. But this is going to be. I'm quite convinced it's going to be a moment where it goes from 0 to 50 in terms of because the support is broad. You don't find many defectors, but it is not deep, and it is not going to take much. That's my belief. That is my belief. I may be wrong.